like party down.
Hey, what's going on, Fly?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you? How was your day?
I'm feeling real blessed, man. It's another day to be here.
Most definitely. It's always about the blessings. Always about good energy, right?
True indeed. That's what I'm here to produce good energy, positivity.
Most definitely, most definitely. Well, let's get into it. I have a dope guest here today, a good friend. He's here to talk about albinism awareness and spreading knowledge about albinism and things that are going on in the world. But before we get into that, we got to welcome Opposing Perspectives. All right. We're here for another episode. I'm your host, Sadell. I'm by myself today without my co-host, Florida Man. He's under the weather, tired, sick, whatever it is. So I want to get into my boy, Flybino, who's going to talk about, certain challenges and things that he had to overcome with albinism. Flybino.
Indeed.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show, sitting on the couch.
I'm gonna thank you for even doing this.
Oh, no.
For having me even have a voice to come up here and speak about something that needs to be aware of. So I'm thanking you.
Okay. Well, Flybino, can you tell us about yourself, your background? Who is Flybino? Who is Shondell Martin?
Shondell Martin is a kid that grew up in Akron, Ohio. Moved around in the military lifestyle, so I've been around. And I found myself here in Jersey where I created my brand, my clothing brand, my production. So I'm learning a lot of new things as I create myself. So.
Okay. Can you talk about your upbringing, your childhood? Exactly. What was it like growing up in Akron, Ohio? Because we from Jersey, we don't know nothing about that Ohio shit.
As a kid in Akron, my mom raised 3 kids. Me and my brother both came out with albinism.
Okay.
My sister came out with her color and everything. But I didn't go to school or nothing in Akron. My mom moved us out when we was 5 years old to Virginia, and that's when we started our journey from the military life to San Diego to LA to Okinawa, Japan. So I've just been traveling and seeing things differently than a lot of people will see.
So you're really well rounded. You've traveled and you've seen the differences in people and societies and stuff and communities.
True indeed.
Dope.
True indeed. Japan was a beautiful place to go to with the culture of discipline.
Yeah. So being in all of these different demographics and countries and cities that you grew up in, I do have to ask, how is it dealing with albinism? But before you explain that, can you explain what albinism is?
Okay, albinism is a genetic form where the DNA of the parents, like they both have it, where the kids will come out with no pigment in their skin, low vision. It doesn't mean that you can't be in the sun, it just means you have to protect yourself from the sun. And it don't mean that you have terrible or bad vision. You just might have to do other things and see things up closer than others or use magnifying glasses. So, so just to bring awareness, a lot of people make it seem like it's a bad thing with these things that come along, like you can't be in the sun. It's not like that. You just got to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm. As you said, this is a genetic thing. This is, you don't consider yourself like disabled or anything like that.
Or a defect.
Or
I don't
a defect.
consider a defect what
Correct.
people will say a lot. It's not a defect because people told me I couldn't get my license and I did. They told me I couldn't play basketball or play football in the sun. I did. These are doctors. These are professional people.
Well, I see you getting into your, some of the challenges and things.
Yeah,
so let's go ahead and get into, some of the challenges that you had to deal with albinism growing up.
The challenges was the people that didn't know. My mom, for one, a black woman raising 2 albino kids, taking them to doctors every month, going off of the doctors' results on who they are. When I was young, at 6 years old, I was learning to read Braille, but I could see. So they wasn't going off of my eyesight, it was going off my brother's because he had poor eyesight. So I would have to do the things that he had to do because he wasn't up to speed like I was. Like, I could do other things as other people, so that's why I would, carry it differently with the albinism than others that had it.
Wow, wow, wow. And can you explain, like, how did you overcome those obstacles? Like,
To be honest with you, I was a trouble kid. I was always in trouble with the law, with assaults. Always like people testing me. You know what I mean? I always thought I was some little dude that, I don't know what it was. I can never explain someone else's actions. I can only explain mine. So I was always on the defense, had a chip on my shoulder. So I just felt like people didn't understand that albino-ness at that time. You kids, everybody playing around and stuff, but
what time frame are we talking about? Around
what are you talking about as kids? Are you talking about like in
early
the
90s?
Yeah, the 90s, the late 90s.
Wait,
You know what I
okay,
mean? The late 90s, like 95,
okay.
96. So you talking about right then, when you're here, then up until now.
What what is it that kept you going to just go against the norm? Like, you know what I mean? I know you talk about other people that struggle with albinism and they just go ahead and they just succumb. You
Mhm.
know, what kept you from just succumbing? What kept you from just pushing forward and just going ahead and say, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to live a normal everyday life. I'm just going to continue to do me.
The support system. The people I grew up around, family, and then just me in general, knowing who I was, like who I was when I looked in the mirror every day, what I wanted to be and where I wanted to go in life. So it was all about that. It's always going to be about self first before anything. So like people don't understand it. I understood who I was. I understand who I was talking to when I would ask, to understand certain things. To being in a room with people that don't look like you, it's not the same type of energy because everybody's staring at you and putting a focus on you and trying to figure you out. So I just had tough skin. That's all I can say. Like I get it that I have a brother that don't like people staring at him, but very successful. So it's the opposite with me and him.
So, okay, so when you say very successful, what do you mean as far as how is he successful?
He has a #1 car shop in Seattle, Washington, that he created his own from the ground up. So
And this is your brother who also struggled with albinism
Yes.
as well.
yes,
Okay.
he don't struggle with it.
Well, you said he struggled.
Well, he just struggle with people like him, but he don't even like acknowledge it.
Okay.
And it's like but so
But he doesn't he doesn't like people staring at him. He deals with
Yeah.
being out.
he deals with it different with me. Like he tells me all the time, I don't know how you do it. Like you can wear your hat up around people and all this without no hat on. I'll be like, I just be me.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's the whole thing. I say, and then I tell him, I don't get it. You successful, you should be comfortable too, cause you know what I mean. Like, shouldn't worry about what people think about you.
Okay. So how do you plan to go about spreading awareness? And what are you doing right now currently?
Well, right now, social media is a big platform where you can reach out to different people. Like before all this social media and everything, I didn't know other people with albinism like that. Now I have people that I haven't met before. I talk to people that would love to work with me and all that. So it's a new adventure. Open up doors, and it's for the younger generation, for the ones that me and my brother didn't have someone that we could see on TV with somebody like, yo, there goes somebody that look like us that, maybe we could look up to or as a superhero or something. We don't got that, so we're trying to change that direction.
And what are you going about changing that direction?
Working with other people that's like me, that get it, that understands the whole movement, and just doing my research. Putting in the work.
So is there plans for like a superhero that looks like?
Actually, I know somebody that has albinism that is doing comic books.
Yes?
That is doing that. Yes, I have a whole albinism community.
We're going to make sure to put that in the description when I when this is done edited, when I post this episode. Most definitely, because this is resources. When you reach out to others, like who are some of the people that you're reaching out to? What is their profession? What do they do?
It's like it's not like really a reach out. It's like a mutual things I'll meet. Like we run into each other.
Networking.
Like networking
Yes.
on the networks on these little like sites, all these different type of sites, Instagram, Facebook. Then having other people come and see you like with being albinism, having that whole community, not knowing about that whole community, not having them to talk to about certain things, and just like meeting them, I ain't got to meet them yet until now. So that's the big challenge, but it's a blessing.
Oh no, what's that? So like, I know some of the people you talked about. You met like other rappers. We was watching a person.
Lava, I got Lava.
You got Lava.
Lava, Albino X, Pel Panam,
Mm-hmm.
you know, semi-automatic.
What's the rapper? Is he in Texas?
There's one that's in Atlanta called, we also got almost the same name, Flybino. He wild. And, yeah, so there's a couple of them.
Okay. We're definitely going to tune in. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and pay a couple bills. We'll take a little break. All right.
True indeed.
That was good. So that ran about 50